Good morning. Hey, you guys got on a bus today and get out of the classroom. Good morning. Thank you. Well, we're excited to have you here. Since COVID, we had to take a little break, and last year we had you guys back again. So we're excited to have you here as part of your experience at Government Day, because this is your city, and you all are our future leaders. So welcome. We're excited to show you a little bit about what we do and our backgrounds as well. I'd like to introduce to you our mayor, Rick Steinmeier. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself and go right ahead.
Well, it's such an honor to try and help all 55,000 or 60,000 people. Who knows? Maybe there's 80,000 people this time of year. But I didn't need this job. I volunteered for this job so I could help people. And I work for the people. There's a guy here who takes care of us, keeps us safe. That's his job, is to keep us safe. And they do a wonderful job here in Bonita. I think we got the safest city in the state of Florida, and we're going to keep it that way. If you don't feel safe, you have nothing. So we're getting over the storm. The storm's made quite a mess out of the city, but we're getting there. The federal government's helping out, the state government's helping out, the city government's helping out, and the people are coming together and helping each other out. And that's what it's all about, is taking care of our friends and our neighbors and make it a better place for us all to live. But I'll give this back to the city manager, Arlene Hunter, who has responsibility for everything, and she does a wonderful job. Here you go, Arlene. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. So what I'm going to do is each of our directors here, we're going to give you a little bit of information about ourselves and how we got into the roles and positions we're in, and a little bit about our educational background. Then we're going to give you all a tour of City Hall, and then you guys are going to jump right in and take role as mayor, council, and members of the public, because that's a very important role as well. As the mayor said, my name is Arlene Hunter, and I'm the city manager. I've been here almost 17 years. I was 12 when I started. And my first position with the city was I was a special events and park coordinator. Have any of you guys been to 4th of July or Celebrate Bonita or Holiday in the Park? That was my first job here with the city. From there, I was able to get the opportunity to move up to Director of Development Services, where I work with planning and zoning and our comprehensive plan. We have a plan that leads all the development and all the projects that the city does. And from there, I had the opportunity to become assistant city manager and then city manager. My background is I actually grew up on Sanibel, and I went to high school in Fort Myers, and then I went to Florida State University, and I have my master's degree in urban and regional planning. From there, I work for the state of Florida and the Florida Department of Education, and then the city of Quincy, which is just west of Tallahassee. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chief DeWitt. No, come on, Chief. So Chief DeWitt works with the Bonita Springs Fire Control and Rescue District, and he's going to give you a little bit about his background too.
So as Arlene said, I'm the fire chief here. I've been the fire chief for 3 years now, just over three and a half years. But I've been with the fire department for 33 years. So like Arlene, I started when I was 10 and did this job. But no, I went to high school down here. I grew up on Fort Myers Beach. Went to high school at Cypress Lake, graduated Cypress Lake, started at Bonita Springs Fire Department as a volunteer, and then progressed up through to firefighter, lieutenant, battalion chief, then deputy chief. Now I'm the fire chief. I went to got my paramedic, got out of high school, got hired. Went to the Edison Community College, then on to Columbia Southern. And I've got my bachelor's degree in fire administration and an associate degree in fire administration. So, the reason I bring that up is schooling's important. You never stop learning, kind of like Arlene with her master's degree. We never stop learning. Been doing a job, like I said, 33 years, and I'm still learning something new every single day. sometimes from kids, sometimes from adults, and sometimes by natural disaster. With being at the fire department, yeah, I've been through Hurricane Charlie, got deployed up to Hurricane Katrina, went over to Surfside and had to deal with that. So, you learn something new every day. So, what you learn today will carry you through for the rest of your life, and you will continue to learn. So don't ever think, hey, as soon as I get out of school, I'm done with this. You're never going to be done with it. You're going to learn something new every day, and it's going to make you a better person. Coming in here, one thing I did neglect to mention, I was on city council for 4 years. So I sat in these seats up there and made the decisions to make Bonita Springs a better community. And Bonita is the greatest community out there, as Mayor Steinmeier said. I've lived here for 35 years in Bonita Springs, raised 2 kids that went through the public school system and through Florida State University, unfortunately. But my point is they both moved back to Southwest Florida, moved back to Bonita Springs because of the way Bonita Springs is. So we're very proud of Bonita. We're very proud that you guys are here today. Hopefully you learned something. I know you will. And hope you pay it forward. You bring it back to Bonita Springs.
So one thing you're going to learn a little bit different about the city of Bonita is we're what's considered government light. So we contract out for a lot of our services. We do not have a city fire department. We have a district, a fire district with elected board members there. We also do not have our own water and sewer system. There's the Bonita Springs Utilities, which is a public-private entrepreneurship. But additionally, we also contract for our planning and zoning services. So whenever you get a building permit, or you have to fix your garage door or roof because of Hurricane Ian, you get a permit from the city. They act as a contractor to the city, but they are, in essence, the city of Bonita Springs. Their licenses all carry them with the ability to act on our behalf as well. And we have Sean Gibbons here to kind of give you a little background on that.
Thank you, Ms. Arlene. So Ms. Arlene mentioned, guys, my name is Sean Gibbons. I'm with the city's Community Development Department. So think of things like long-range planning. What does the city want to be when it grows up, right? Arlene mentioned this idea of a comprehensive plan. So part of what my department does is sort of take that vision, that idea that staff, that council has put into place, and make that actionable. Do you guys know what actionable means? Make it real, make it tangible, make it actually happen out in the community. So that's building, that's development, that's construction, that's environmental, that's engineering. Anybody here want to be an engineer when they grow up? Anybody? Well played, well played. Good job, good career path. That's what my department handles. We do all kinds of outreach, all kind of community input. Really, we're kind of one of the nexuses for a lot of the city's development purposes. So we'll deal with other departments, other staff members to kind of really make government work for you, the citizens. A little bit about my background. I also am a local, grew up in Bonita Estero my entire life, went to Estero High School. I'm a graduate of FGCU with my undergraduate in political science, my master's degree in public administration. I'm also a certified planner, just like Mrs. Hunter. But really, my big takeaway for you guys in this is kind of growing up to be independent thinkers and being engaged citizens, right? So we're all going to talk about what our different departments do, why government's important, why you as citizens, especially young individuals and future leaders of the city, should be engaged and involved. Most of the time, and I tell my college kids this all the time when I have my classes, you're going to get the most bang for your buck, the most input, the most value out of local government. More so than the federal government, more so than the state government. The decisions that we make at a local level, the input we have from our citizens, your level of engagement, is going to dictate the quality of life you have. Whether it's streets that work, whether it's stoplights, whether it's stop signs, whether it's safe infrastructure, whether it's you guys having the services you need at a basic fundamental level to enjoy and thrive in your communities. That's what local government does first and foremost. So my big takeaway for you guys with this would be to stay engaged, stay informed, and just kind of grow into the community and become the amazing leaders I know you all can. Thank you so much for coming out. If you guys have any questions, we'll get to you at the end, okay? Thank you.
Next, we're going to introduce you to Tony Backhurst. He is with our Neighborhood Services Department. He has dual roles. He works with code enforcement issues. So when there's concerns about your neighbor's property, they might have excess vehicles over there, or there needs to be repairs done. But additionally, he's in charge of emergency management. So basically, he worked 24/7 during Hurricane Ian and help provide the support services here. So.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. As Arlene said, my name's Tony Backhurst. I've been with the city now for 5 years. January was my 5th anniversary here, and I've enjoyed working here. I've taken a little bit of a different road because you may hear I've got like a different accent. I grew up in South London, England. Left school. Our system was very different. I left school at the age of 16. I was with anybody here play soccer? A handful? Yeah. I was with a professional soccer academy, so I ended up doing that, and I was so good. I always tell people I was so good at soccer, I ended up joining the Royal Marines a few years later, and from that point I ended up joining the police and spent 20 years in the police, and came down to the US 14 years ago. Best move I've ever made. Should have done it way before, and I've been down here, and I'm lucky enough to be working in Bonita. Education is so important. I've got a son who is just turned 14, who's in the charter system in Cape Coral, and he just got into the Cambridge program, if that means anything to anyone. And he's got no interest in sport like I had, thankfully, and he's got interest in education and being academic, and he's maintaining a 3.83 GPA, which if you'd have asked me when I left school what a GPA was, I wouldn't even have known. I'd have thought it was something to do with stats on soccer, but I wish I'd had the opportunity that he has had with a great school system. And I've worked in government now. I'm in 30-something years, which is usually something you don't say out loud too many times, that you've worked in government that long. But I can honestly say, and I've worked at a federal level, the equivalent of a state level, and now I'm working at the city level. The smaller is way better from an employee perspective, from my opinion. And I think this system works great. We're very lucky to live where we live. And that's about it.
Next, I'm going to introduce you to a very important person, Clara Ferret, because she helps us pay our bills. So she's our finance department. Also, what she does is so many times, especially with Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Ian, the federal government gives us an opportunity to apply for grants so that we can make drainage improvements and help prevent with flooding. And she makes sure that we cross every T and dot every I so that they don't recall the money and we get to keep the money. So,
hi, everybody. My name is Clara Fetty, and I am the accounting supervisor of the finance department. How many people like math? Come on, come on. Oh. As Arlene said, finance is the glue that keeps this place running. Let me tell you that. So see, I bet you more people want to join math people. Come on, come on. Nope, I guess not. All right. Well, anyway, I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah. Go Bengals! Anyway, I have a bachelor's degree in accounting, and I have worked for some great corporations throughout my career. I worked for Coca-Cola Enterprises back in Cincinnati, Ohio for many years. Cengage Learning, which was a publishing company that produced and published many books that you are now using today and that you will use in the future, because today, if you all go to college, you'll see a lot of Cengage Learning online books and different things like that. So it was a great opportunity. As the previous people said, you know, your education will continue always. I've had a great, blessed career in learning different industries and how it all works and how it affects everybody's life, no matter where they are. But I have to admit, this is my most favorite opportunity that I have had. So we have a great staff here, wonderful people to work with. We've had great council people to work with, and we work well together, because that's the only way a city's going to survive is, you know, a lot of communication and a lot of guts and grits to get through some of the things that we have to get through. So I hope a lot of you will join in the government sector, because we need more people to keep things going and to keep us on the right path. So thanks and enjoy.
Next, I'm going to introduce you to Laura Taylor. She's our communications director, but she's also is over our IT department as well, and she also works over facilities.
Thank you. As Arlene mentioned, I'm the communications director, and recently have started to look over the facilities for major improvements. Within my department, we oversee information technology, media relations, our special events, our permitted special events. So we're very much got our hands in the pot everywhere. As Government Light, our employees are asked to do a lot of different things, but it keeps it very interesting. It's something that we love about the job. Caressa, who has coordinated this event, is an FGCU graduate. She is also handling our special events now. So if you go to Holiday in the Park or Celebrate Bonita, that's one of our team members, and she got her master's from FGCU as well. So she's been with us 2 years. 2 years. And then we also have Logan, who's an FGCU graduate in our department, and he's helping with the events. He's coordinating all the permitted events. So if you go to a concert in the park or a blues festival, he has coordinated all the needs with the organizers to make sure that it's safe and something that you can enjoy. So my background is I actually grew up near Cincinnati, Ohio, as well. And in 7th grade, it sounds crazy, but in 7th grade, I started on the path to where I am today. So how many of you know what you want to do? Okay. What do you want to be? Wow, very nice. Engineer? Anyone else? Know what you want to be? Okay. Mechanic? Very nice. Okay. And you? Soccer. Oh, I thought you said soccer. I'm like, Tony can help you with that. So in 7th grade, I knew that I really liked to put together video and edit and kind of tell stories. And at that time, we had a teacher who was encouraging us to do a video project. I really took to it. I loved it, and he noticed. So he walked me over. Our middle school was attached to our high school. So he walked me over and introduced me to the high school radio and TV teacher, where I spent 4 years taking that as an elective. My senior year of high school, I was selected to produce a community TV show, basically going around the community and talking about everything that was good in our community. From there, I went to Florida Gulf Coast University, and I got my bachelor's degree. I left there and ended up working for the NBA's developmental league, the Florida Flame. So that was a little bit different, more sports, public relations, and marketing. And then I came here and worked at the Parks and Rec department and helped plan small events over there, and worked the front desk, took out the trash, wiped down the equipment as needed. And then I got promoted. I actually started writing articles in the newspaper just about the Parks and Recreation activities. And our city manager at the time would circle them and send them over to me like, good job, this is awesome. And about 5 years later, I got promoted to community relations specialist, where I would help promote the city, do newsletters, things like that. And then when Arlene got promoted from special events, I was asked to take that on. And so I became the special events coordinator. And from there, just working hard and growing and learning with some amazing people and some great mentors, I was able to create a communications department and work through becoming a communications manager to a communications director. So I've been here 15 years. That's how much I love it. So the reason I tell you that story is it's really important to know that getting involved now in what you love, and as you graduate, internships, volunteering, those are great doors to get you into the jobs that you want to do. So don't think that, hey, I'm too young for this right now. You're not. Just start following your passion and getting involved in the community as much as you can now, and you can get anywhere that you'd like to go.
And last, but definitely not least, I'm going to call up Sergeant Harden. Come on up, who is a United States veteran.
Good morning. How's everybody? Doing good. All right. So I started out like a lot of you, okay? Who was born in Florida? Right on. It's a dying breed. There's not many of us left, okay? So I was born in East Naples, raised in East Naples, went to just about every school in Collier County, graduated out of Lely High School. After high school, I joined the Marine Corps, deployed overseas, came back, got out of the Marine Corps, decided to become a cop, It's a grand idea. I worked for 2 separate agencies besides the Lee County Sheriff's Office. And while I was working with those 2 agencies, I was also government contracting. So according to the government, I was considered a subject matter expert in maritime warfare. So not really a big deal. It's just I used to teach a lot of military members how to do specific tasks. Long and short of it, got tired of it, wanted to be a cop full time, came down here, back home. Actually grew up around the Bonita area when I was about your age. My dad lived out here, so I've seen it come from what it was to what it is today. And it's your city council, your city staff, your local government. You cannot ask for a better one anywhere, I promise you. Been working with this sheriff's office now for just under 10 years. All right, in my tenure here, I started in Bonita. I'm on my 2nd sentence to Bonita. Just kidding. I actually really enjoy it here. I used to teach for the agency. I went around, taught every officer. I'd see them at least once a year and teach them. Okay. Then I went into narcotics. I was a highway interdiction officer with a canine. I'm also now a team leader on the SWAT team. I'm also a sniper team leader on the SWAT team. In conjunction with the SWAT team, there's a waterborne team that we have, which means we do anti-piracy, anti-terrorism stuff. We don't see much of it, but we still get to do a lot of stuff on the water. I'm the assistant team leader for that. All right, so there's a lot of different things going on. All right, so the world is your playground. Okay, just because you want to get into one certain element of a job or an engineer or something like that, if you want to be a mechanic, there's so many different types of mechanics, right? So many different types of engineers, so many different types of construction workers, right? The world's your playground, but it starts here, right? Okay. What else? The Bonita Springs Community Policing Unit, we have 14 members that are funded by the city of Bonita Springs, and that's specific to you all, okay? So what that means is nowhere else inside Lee County is there 14 deputies specific for an area. That doesn't happen. So you have technically 6 on nights with a sergeant, 6 on days with a sergeant, plus our lieutenant. So we don't see him much. We don't worry about him. Sergeants run the show. Just remember that. All right? So if you see my guys out, the way you can tell my guys from the other deputies is we've got that little circle in the back window that the city provides. All right? We stamp our name on everything we do here for the city. Okay? So if you see that little Bonita Springs sticker in the back, they're your deputies. Okay? They're not the county's deputies. Yes, we do contract, but we're your deputies. All right? If you guys ever see us out, whether you've had a previous contact with us, good, bad, indifferent, stop us, say hey. If you ever need anything, any help, anything like that, stop us. We're here for you. Fair enough? Questions, concerns, complaints? All right.
Thank you. So at this time, I'm going to turn over to Laura. We're going to break out into sessions to give you a little tour of City Hall.
All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Do roll call.
That's city attorney. Who's city attorney?
Council member.
Here. Here.
Council member Isla.
Here.
Council member Zoe.
Here.
Mayor Christopher.
Here.
Council member Landon.
Here.
Council member Jason.
Here.
Council Ryan.
Here.
Public comment on agenda items.
Me personally, I'm Anthony Ardondo. Came from Florida. Was born in Florida. And I like landscaping of Furlong Street. Because I like flowers. And they have lots of flowers. Thank you.
Okay.
Very well.
Wilmer.
Yeah. I'm Bob, and I disagree with having landscaping because it stinks and it doesn't look popular for the community. And yeah, that's pretty much.
My name's Weston Nixon, and I think that we should not have landscaping because some kids don't have the luxury of getting a ride to school, so they have to walk, and it can be harder for them to get to school.
My name is Leland. I think landscaping is good because it'll attract more people and it'll make the city more beautiful for people like residents, stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Good job.
Can you please review consent item A?
Who's that for? City attorney?
Yeah, city attorney.
Mayor Council, we had the before you discussion and landscaping.
It's city council's pleasure.
It's city council's pleasure.
Can you review what is being proposed for the city manager?
At a recent budget butchup, members of Oak Creek Charter School requested that we install climate appropriate irrigation and landscape on Furlong Street, leading to Oak Creek Charter. The budget is approximately $24,563.
It'll be these questions, but anywhere it says West Cary, it'll be Furlong Street.
Fellow council members, does anyone want to discuss this proposal?
Yes.
Okay.
How does the community feel about adding plants and landscaping along West Terry Street?
Okay. There's a typo. You're fine. Yes, you're good.
I used to question.
Council members?
Oh. Fellow council members.
I agree that there should be landscaping because it would be popular with the residents. Maybe adding a park, maybe adding benches or water fountains so that the community can enjoy our school even more. That is all.
Anyone else?
Excuse me, that is a terrible idea. You got that.
I don't like landscaping.
I do not like landscaping.
Order! There will be a time for public comment. Now is not that time.
May I ask another question, Mary?
Should the focus be on climate conscious landscaping or aesthetic plants that may require more upkeep, fertilizer, and water?
I'll direct that to the city manager.
There would be a need for irrigation and annual maintenance, even if the plant material was climate appropriate.
I would like to speak. What if we did plants that are biodegradable? So if they were broken in, say, a storm, we wouldn't have to replace them.
City manager, would additional funds need to be added for maintenance?
Yes.
Approximately $12,000 annually.
Approximately $12,000 annually.
Are those funds currently available?
They are not identified in your current budget. But you got funds available in contingency.
It would require a budget transfer.
I would like to make a motion to approve the budget transfer and plantings as proposed by staff.
Does anybody want to second that motion?
Aye.
Any additional comments?
For me?
Roll call for a city attorney for a vote.
Councilmember Izzy?
You have to vote yes or no. Yes.
Councilmember Isla?
Aye.
Councilmember Zoe?
Aye.
Mayor Christopher?
Aye.
Councilmember Landon?
Aye.
Councilmember Jason?
Aye.
Councilmember Ryan?
No. May I request to speak?
You had your chance. Vote already happened, but go ahead.
No, I have nothing to say right now. Yeah.
Motion approved.
Order.
I'm his translator. I'm a translator. I'm not talking. I'm his translator.
I'm gonna say roll call, please.
Councilmember Brandon.
Here.
Councilmember Moises.
Here.
Councilmember Carlos. Oh, Councilmember Isabel.
Here.
Mayor Isla.
Here.
Councilmember Euelia.
Here.
Councilmember Gio.
Here.
Councilmember Brian.
Here.
Councilmember Domingo.
Here.
Can the city attorney introduce the next item?
I'm gonna defer city manager.
Mayor, in council, if the city should update its regulations to include drones.
Is there any public comment on this item?
Yeah. I think drones should be allowed their fun. My name's Landon Miller. Have a good day.
My name is Ryan Joey Sackmore, and I think drones should not be flying around in the area. They should only be used for if you want to see some land or want to take pictures of something, you need permission. And if drones attract some people sometimes, yeah.
My name is Christian, and I say no to drones because it could violate some people's privacy, and that's it.
My name is Jason, and I agree with Christian with the privacy. I believe that drones should and can be used indoors say they're holding a public event of basketball, soccer, I believe that their drones could be allowed to capture footage. Because say if somebody's son is playing basketball and they're indoors and they can't bring phones in, I think they should be allowed to use the drones to capture footage. Thank you.
My name's Landon Trill, and I think no on drones because it's unconstitutional and it's an invasion of privacy.
My name is Zoe Zambrano, and I think drones should be used if you're trying to see something specifically. And about the invasion of privacy, I think they would have to have some type of recognition thing where they can report it to the police nearby, and they will find them people and warn them. Yeah.
Is there any discussion amongst the council members?
Ms. Mayor, may I ask a question?
Yes.
What about special events where people pay a fee to use the park? Can they use drones instead of a photographer for their event?
I will defer that to the special events coordinator.
Anybody want to be the special events coordinator? Oh, yeah, let's go. Can you repeat the question, please?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What about special events where people pay a fee to use... Wait, no, that's not what I asked. Wait, yeah, I did. Where people pay a fee to use the park, can they use drones instead of a photographer for their event?
Yes. I believe that they should be allowed. Yeah.
You could say, so for our special events, we do have within the permit the ability, go ahead. With our special event permit, we have the ability
With a special event permit, we have the ability
to allow for photo shoots.
to allow for photo shoots.
And so if they were
a licensed company
with drone certifications, then they could fill out a special event permit to operate in our park during a specific time.
To operate a drone during a specific time.
Any other members of council?
Mayor, may I speak?
Yes.
Should drones be allowed to fly anywhere in the city, park, even indoors?
I would like to defer that to the city staff.
Add the drones.
I disagree with anybody.
Order.
I disagree with anybody who said drones are illegal. Not all drones have cameras.
No more public comment. Delete of discussion.
Mayor, council. You would need to direct the city attorney's office to amend the current ordinance.
Further questions?
Miss Mayor, may I ask a question?
Yes.
What would be a reasonable restriction?
I will defer that question to the city manager.
I would like to defer to the Lee County Sheriff's Office on how they can enforce such a regulation.
How are you going to enforce drones if someone's not obeying the law?
Well, I might just try to talk to them first.
Yep, he'll tell you.
Well, I'll try talking to the person, and if they don't comply, I'll take their drone away. But if they're not trying to give me the drone either, I'll take them in custody. And I can't do that.
That's the only way we can enforce it. The only reason you need a warrant for a drone is if you're using it for evidentiary purposes. It's not a Fourth Amendment violation. If somebody is lawfully using it for recreation, it's registered with the FAA, and or they have their pilot's license. Okay, so we cannot enforce it if somebody is. Go ahead.
We cannot enforce it if someone's not in that.
Is lawfully using it and not using it for evidentiary value. It is not in a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Not in a violation of the Fourth Amendment. If
they are a licensed pilot.
If they are a licensed pilot.
Flying it within the sanctions of the FAA.
Flying it with the sanctions with the FFA. FAA. Yeah.
Thank you. Any further questions?
Merrick, may I speak?
Yes.
How about special events where people pay a fee to use the park? Can they use drones instead of photographer for their event?
That item was already discussed.
Oh, my fault.
Next question.
How do we protect city property, i.e., it costs $300 to fix a light bulb in a baseball field light? Do we create a distance where they cannot fly near certain property, lights, buildings, people, etc.?
That would be part of an ordinance. Should mayor or council direct the attorney's office to draft such an ordinance?
Thank you. Any other questions?
Drones have rights too. Drone rights. Drone rights.
Order.
Drone
Order.
rights. Drone rights. Drone rights.
You need to leave.
Sheriff, have her removed.
Leave.
I just want to say I'm very worried about the robots taking our jobs. So no drones. I'm anti-robot, anti-drone.
Leave.
No
Order.
No drone.
Take it out.
Drones should be legal. Not all of them have cameras.
Sheriff?
Defend the drones.
Is there any other questions?
As soon as drones start taking people's jobs, how are people going to make money? It will end a bunch of people up and homeless. And
We're not even discussing about that.
That is not an item that can be addressed by city council with this order.
I disagree. I disagree.
Take them out.
Order.
You had your chance to speak.
You've had your chance to speak. What? Councilwoman?
Should parents be allowed to take aerial pictures of their kids while they're playing soccer? What if it's not the parent who is taking the picture?
I would defer that to the city attorney.
Mayor, council. That would have to be addressed. In a draft ordinance. With regulations. And possible. Required. Permission slips. From. The students' guardians.
Thank you. Any additional questions from council?
Mayor, may I pleasure?
Yes.
How do you protect cities' properties, i.e. it costs $300 to fix a light bulb in a baseball field light? Do we create a distance where they cannot fly near certain property, lights, buildings, people, and act?
That question has already been addressed, but I will defer to the Parks Director.
Let's be the Parks Director. You special. Okay. Asking you to repeat the question.
Could you repeat the question, please?
How do we protect city properties, i.e. it costs $300 to fix a light bulb in a baseball field? Do we create distance where they cannot fly near certain properties, light, buildings, people, and act?
We would work with city attorney
To make recommendations on parameters
to make recommendations on parameters
for how close drones could be flown to city property.
to see how close drones could be flown near city property.
And that would be addressed within the ordinance.
That would be addressed within the ordinance.
Thank you. Are there any further questions from council?
May I speak?
Yes.
Should drones be allowed to fly anywhere in the city park, even indoors?
I would defer that question to the staff.
Mayor and council, we would be looking direction from the council on a policy as to whether you're comfortable while allowing the drones indoors.
Thank you. Any further questions among council?
I make a motion to pursue ordinance to allow drones in our city.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second? Say I second. Say I second the motion.
I second the motion.
Further comment?
Any further comment?
Roll call, please.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brandon,
Here.
Councilmember Moises,
Here.
Councilmember Carlos,
Here.
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Aye.
Councilmember Izzy,
Aye.
Mayor Isla,
Nay.
Councilmember Eulalia,
No.
Councilmember Gio,
Aye.
Councilmember Brian,
Nay.
Councilmember Domingo.
Aye.
Gavel motion carries.
I learned how different people in our city do different things to keep it clean and nice. Yeah.
I learned today that there are 7 council members in one council and that the city manager does most of the work.
You get 2 pins for that. Yeah.
I learned that there's a lot of jobs in this thing. And everybody works together to make one beautiful city.
It's okay. Thank you.
I learned that you can't arrest people for flying drones.
I learned that each person plays a different role, and maybe some people play multiple roles.
I learned that this council or whatever has a lot of great people.
I learned that all the council members here try their best to do things for Benita.
There you go.
I learned that it's fun to be in the council and it's not always just about like money and stuff.
I learned that it takes many people to make a beautiful city like Bonita.
I learned how these amazing people that we met today can serve and protect our community.
I learned that there was a mayor I honestly didn't know. No way.
I learned that Bonita's the best.
I learned that there are a lot of important people here, and if one person wasn't here, yeah, it's all a team.
I learned that working here requires a lot of persistence and in confidence.
All right, who hasn't gone? Come on, you can do it. Come on.
I learned that we need to work together to make that.
Make it all work?
Yeah.
Good job.
I learned that people work together to keep Bonita clean, and that each and one of us learn every new stuff every single day.
Good job. Good job.